When we think about spiritual maturity, we usually picture this upward climb, right? Gaining more knowledge, more influence. But what if some of that growth, some of that supposed maturity, is actually a kind of corruption? Today, we're diving into a really challenging idea, Luciferian maturity.
So let's just jump right into the deep end with this question. What if heaven looks down at all our pride, our competition, our clever ways of protecting ourselves, and doesn't see growth at all? What if it sees us moving backward? It's a tough thought, for sure, so let's unpack it.
Now, what's so critical to get here is who Jesus was talking to. This wasn't a sermon for the newbies. He literally turned to his apostles, Peter, James, John, his inner circle, his most mature followers, and told them they had to turn back. Not get smarter, not perform bigger miracles, no. They had to return.
Okay, so return to what exactly? This slide just lays it out perfectly. It's a journey back to the very things we often think maturity is supposed to leave behind. It's about getting back to innocence, to a raw kind of honesty, to a deep-seated humility, and just a simple, trusting faith.
To really understand this, though, we first have to look at the flip side. We have to look at the ultimate cautionary tale of a false ascent. This is a story of the very first being who chased after a dangerous, twisted kind of maturity.
And here it is. This is the core definition we're going to be working with. Luciferian maturity. It isn't about failing to grow. Oh no, it's about the direction of that growth. It's an upward climb in knowledge, in power, in influence. But, and this is the key, it's all fueled by a heart that is bending inward, back on itself.
You see, Lucifer was the first to get sophisticated. He matured beyond simple submission. And this right here, this was his mission statement. I will ascend, I will rise, I will sit, and finally I will be like the Most High. It's like 5 fractures of self-will that just shattered the harmony of heaven. This is the language of a heart bent inward.
So what does this look like today? I mean, this is where it gets uncomfortably real. It's when church becomes a place of competition, when discipleship is just a ladder we're trying to climb, when our ministry becomes a mirror for our own pride instead of a window for God's grace. When that happens, we haven't grown in Christ, we've actually grown away from Him. This kind of path, it looks powerful, but it's poisoned. It sounds wise, but believe me, it is warped. All right, so now let's pivot to the counterexample, the true path, because this isn't about stopping our growth, not at all. It's about understanding what true, divine maturity is supposed to look like. And this just nails the difference, doesn't it? Where Lucifer screamed, "I will ascend," Jesus says, "The greatest will be the servant." It is a complete reversal of how the world and how hell defines greatness. The most important point here is that true ascension, it comes through descent.
I mean, just let that image sink in for a second. The Son of God, the one who literally made the stars, never matured past servanthood. He never outgrew humility. He knelt. And that wasn't some childish act. It was a profoundly divine one. This is the real model for our growth.
So real spiritual maturity then, it doesn't get rid of those childlike qualities, it actually perfects them. It deepens our innocence, it refines our simplicity, and it purifies our faith, making it so much stronger. Because as this shows us, true growth always bends low.
Okay, with those two paths laid out so clearly, the spotlight now turns to us. It's time for a moment of just brutally honest self-reflection. Let's look in the mirror and check on our own growth.
Let's start with this one. All the books you've read, all the sermons you've heard, all the knowledge you've packed away, has it made your heart softer and more compassionate, or has it just made your tongue sharper and more critical of other people?
And what about your service? The work you've done for God, has it made you genuinely humbler, more aware of how much you need His grace? Or has it kind of hardened you, made you proud of your own contributions and all your effort?
And finally, this question. This one gets to the very core of it all. When you pray, is it making you more like a child, completely dependent on your Father? Or have your mature prayers just become another way to declare your own strength and self-reliance? And that really brings us to the crucial difference, doesn't it? When you boil it all down, heaven's maturity bends low in humility. Hell's maturity looks high in pride. Both paths seem to be going up, but only one is truly ascending in the Spirit. So, This brings us to the end, which isn't just a summary, it's an invitation. It's a clear and I think urgent call to action based on everything we've just looked at. The very first step is a conscious choice. We have to decide to strip off that heavy false armor of pride, that self-preservation and sophistication that we think is protecting us, but is actually just weighing us down. And the second step is to actively turn back, to let honesty, humility, and simple faith start to rebuild that innocence we were called to from the very beginning. Because the day you stop being a child before God, well, that's the day you start becoming like Lucifer before men.
And so we end exactly where we began, with these timeless, unchanging words from Jesus himself. This isn't just a nice suggestion, it's the fundamental requirement for entering his kingdom. So the ultimate question for all of us isn't how high have we climbed, it's how low have we bent.